Abnormal Family. I've got another one to share with y'all. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I went out on a solo investigation tonight. Unfortunately, didn't get anything. Going back out tomorrow night. Hopefully, it'll be a little more active. As usual, though, it's not always, you're not always going to find something when you go out. But we'll find something. Eventually, we'll find something. 11 years ago, my husband and I were outside working on our driveway. It was about 9:30 at night, and it was dark out. I was raking at the end of our driveway. My husband was stacking wood. We both had our headlamps on so we could see what we were doing. So as I am finishing up with raking, I hear something really big running up our hill towards our driveway. I can hear each step it is taking. I thought maybe it was a bear because of how the footsteps sounded. You know, like it had some weight behind it. Well, my husband had heard it too. He came running towards me and then passed me onto the road chasing whatever it was. So I say to him, "What in the hell are you doing?" He said, "I'm chasing it away from our property. I don't want it coming around here again." I said, "Stop, are you crazy? Whatever it is bigger than you." So he continues to chase it up the hill, yelling and screaming, "Get out of here, get out of here." At the top of our hill is a cul-de-sac and with a street light. I'm scared as hell, so I'm staying back in a little bit, but I'm curious what it might be too. So I continue up the hill behind my husband. When my husband chased it up to the cul-de-sac, the creature stopped right in the light that was cast from the street light. I could not believe what I was seeing. It was like it flipping through the pages of my memory banks trying to compare it to anything else I'd ever seen before. It looked like a werewolf to me. It was taller than my husband, who was 6'3", and it had gray skin. The gray skin shined through the fur with its tufts of scraggly hair where, and if there was any hair, looked kind of mangy. It looked sickly, like it had mange or something. It had the body of a human, but its head looked like a dog. It had a long snout and pointed ears like a Doberman pinscher. It had a slight hunch on the back of its neck like a hyena has. Its upper arms were slightly shorter in length than the human's. Its hips were much larger than ours, kind of like a kangaroo. It could also drop down on its 2 feet, like us, and it could also run on all fours. So when it gets into the street light, it stopped and turned and looked at my husband, who is still yelling at it, "Go on, get!" And the creature was mad. I think it's because it didn't like being in the light, but when it turned and looked at him, it snarled and growled at him for a second, and then, with 2 long footsteps, it shot into the woods above our house. My friend and neighbor asked me to come down to her house a couple of weeks ago because another one was at her neighbor's that lives above our house. The past woods that the werewolf disappeared into was at her place, she said, and she needed to talk. So we went down there and she introduced us, and come to find out that she had seen the werewolf in her yard bend down on one knee drinking water out of a puddle. But it had my sighting 11 years ago, and it had other sightings 3 years ago. I have heard of one sighting up to 2510 Forest Service Road, just above our house 7 years ago, and then another sighting in Qualcine, West Virginia, which is a town just north of here. I live in Brennan, Washington, and my husband and I know the woods around here like the back of our hands. I have seen and heard a lot of things in those woods, but nothing even compares to what I seen that night. It was so terrible looking that I would hope nobody would ever see it, and it really makes you think that whenever you go out into the woods to do anything, there's something like that could be watching you, let alone stalking you. These creatures are hideous, terrible, and very sinister looking, and I have no doubt they would kill you. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Just another thing, man, they're out there at night running around. Your dogs start barking, you hear something outside. You go outside expecting to find a possum and you find something like that. Just be careful. Until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel, and we'll see you on the next one.